Dawg. And we got a little bite in that bark because playoffs, baby. We are in. We have clinched. And we got to break down coming up, that big win over the Jets. But how you feeling?
Well, first of all, what a great day to be a Browns fan. I mean, I am just really, really excited. You hit it right on the head talking about this football team in the playoffs and what's really crazy. I mean, how many times can we could say that we have a game left and that game really doesn't mean anything because we're already have a ticket to the show. So what a great day. And what we're going to do, we're going to break down, obviously, we're going to talk about this later. We have the fifth seed pretty much locked up right now, and but we just don't know who we're going to play yet. It's going to be somebody in that AFC South. But as far as that's concerned, I'm really in a good mood, but I'm also not in a great mood because you guys know, and you, Gab,
I do know.
You know where I'm headed with this.
I called you last night, and you were not in good shape.
Not in a good mood. Not in a good mood.
What happened to your boys? What happened to your boys last night?
Roll Tide! God damn it, you went down on me last night. You went down, Gabby. I can't help it. I'm just hurt. I'm hurt. I'm feeling bad. And this is not to take anything away from Coach Harbaugh and Michigan. They're a good football team. I mean, they're a good football team, and they played a good game, but I just don't think that they're better than Alabama. But they won, so I'm still going to give them a lot of credit. But I am not in a good mood.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking, Gab, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
Just thinking about all the people down in Alabama right now and the surrounding area, all the Alabama fans. Can you imagine what Amari Cooper must be thinking right now? I mean, he's hurt. I mean, he's like me. He's hurt because, and Nick Saban, don't even talk about Nick. I saw Nick at the press conference, and he was just hurt. Hurt because the game was right there, Gab. We got the game. We were winning the game, and we were up by 7.
That last play was replaying all over Twitter.
Oh.
Just quickly break that down. Okay.
Defense let us down. I mean, the defense let us down. Defense didn't play well. And not only that, I mean, I keep saying the defense, but again, we're going to talk about the whole thing. The offense, the offensive line, I mean, I think you look at it, Michigan had like 6 sacks. 6 sacks. I mean, they had 5, I think, in the first half, and then they got 1 toward the end, so a total of 6 sacks, and we just couldn't make the adjustments. And I want to say I don't want to be bleeped out all day over here because that's where I'm headed. Damn it! Alabama fans know what I'm talking about. They know how I feel, and they know I'm hurting today. But again, to counter that, great day to be a Browns fan.
Great day to be a Browns fan. How is your friend Ozzy, though?
Well, he's about like me right now, and he and I, we talked before the game, and we haven't talked since the game was over because
you guys need a grief period.
We need a grief period. Both of us in mourning right now, and I know how he's feeling. He's feeling pretty good right now as far as the Ravens is concerned, and again, we're going to hit on all that during the show, but I know he is hurting right now about the Alabama game because we're just huge. You got to understand, Gab, when you grow up.
How did you become a Bama fan?
Well,
though?
when you grow up in Alabama, you're either an Alabama or Auburn fan. I mean, I went to the University of Southern Mississippi, had scholarship there, but I also had scholarship at Alabama, and I decided to go to the University of Southern Mississippi. We won't get into the reason, but it was a good reason. And I still have.
Wow, what a cliffhanger! Okay.
Well, I've told you guys this too. I still have like uncles and people in my family that won't talk to me today because I didn't chose to play for the University of Alabama.
Wow.
But there was a reason I went to Southern Mississippi. So
was it a girl?
Hey, no, hell no, hell no,
okay.
Hell no. We can't talk about it today, but we have that. We have what we call that portal today, and so you can catch my drift and read between the lines. But again, we're looking forward to the show. Tell us about the show. What we got going on today,
Okay,
Gab?
we are. We're going to break. Okay, he's diverting. We will break down our big Browns win and get into our outlook on the playoffs and, honestly, our plan of action for our last game of the season, And we've got JT coming on from Montrose Auto Group, so stick with us. We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon Show after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. Okay, Hanford, we do have a lot to break down here.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start? Browns win?
No,
okay,
no,
sure.
no.
This is your show.
No. It's our show. I want to. Are you gonna? Why don't you bring our guest in? Bring him in.
You want him already?
Yeah, bring him on already.
And you never even really got to say what you did for the game and everything yet. I know that's a favorite for you.
Well, we're gonna get into that, but I want you to bring him on because you and I need to get on him. I'm gonna let you start on him first. Before I jump all over him, I'm gonna let you beat up on him first.
Okay. We got JT from Montrose Auto Group in studio with us today. He's at the big desk today.
I finally have graduated from the couch over to the big desk, and
yeah,
that little intro, I'm blushing a little bit. I feel like you're expecting a lot today, Top Dog.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Gabby, you want to jump in? You want me to jump in?
Where do you want to go with this? College football because you both are hurting?
I know
or you
right
want,
where he's
or
angling right now
big...
is Florida State, guaranteed.
Gabby, all this fuss about Florida State not getting into the championship.
Wow, so you really wanted to hit him hard off the rip. I thought you maybe wanted to start on a high note.
No, I got to go at him.
You got to commiserate.
I mean, Florida State, supposedly now, they're one of the best 4 teams in the nation. Supposedly now. And, they're going to lawsuits, they're going to file. When they didn't get picked, they're going to file lawsuits.
We got dismantled by SEC team, Georgia. I get it.
Then they play Georgia. I mean, JT, what was the score?
I don't want to relive it. But it was not good.
JT, we're listening. What was the score?
It was somewhere in the realm of 63-3. Yeah, it was an absolute beatdown. I stopped watching in the second quarter.
Oh.
I mean, but what was the score last night?
Well, what are they going to do about all those?
A loss is a loss, right?
What are they going to do about all those lawsuits that they file?
I think they're going to probably lick their wounds and maybe join the SEC. I have no idea what they're going to do.
Well, on a fair note, I have to say this: I was shocked at the score because Florida State is a good football team. I kid with you, Gabby, and we kid with you, and we give you a hard time, but Florida State's a good football team. But but Dawg,
they got dismantled. It's similar to Ohio State's performance.
Yeah,
I mean, it was like they just woke up and all right, this doesn't mean anything. So, all right, we're just going to go through the motions, which leads me to: is there a problem with college football? It seems like there is. If you're not in the top 4 in this scenario, I know next year changes and you get, top 12 teams are getting into the playoff, but man, it's like the 5th seed, the 6th seed, 7th seed, they were just kind of going through the motions, and Georgia was out there to prove a point. Missouri was out there to prove a point, against Ohio State and Florida State. It was frustrating, man. It was a frustrating weekend to sit there and watch.
I'm going to say this before we jump into the Browns with you, and Gab and I was talking about it a little bit off the air, and I'm going to go back to last night's game with Alabama and Michigan, and Gab knows me pretty well, and I sit there and I watch the game, and I could tell probably somewhere about halfway through the game or somewhere in the first quarter, I could tell how the game is going to go down, what's happening, and if it's not going. And first of all, in that Alabama-Michigan game, I could tell that things wasn't going good for Alabama. And one of the keys in that, too, was Jalen Milrows. When he went to scramble, you know how big Jalen Milrows is. I mean, the guy's like 6'4", probably
6'4",
about
230.
230.
Yeah.
I mean,
solid.
He had an opportunity to get a first down, and he goes into a slide. I mean, have you ever – I think that's the first time we've ever seen this guy go into a slide. And then there was another opportunity when he was just trying to throw like a flare pass out to the back in the flat. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, where the hell was he throwing the ball? I mean, it was just all kind of crazy things. When the last time you remember somebody sacking an Alabama quarterback with that massive offensive line. They're averaging at about 350 up front.
They're bigger than, what was it, 75% of the NFL lines?
Yes.
Offensive line. They're huge.
Yes.
350, 370,
and
6'5",
and they
6'8".
allow all these sacks. So I'm just and we're spending. I know we're spending more time than we're normally would spend on college football. I know all you Ohio State fans are mad at me. I don't care. Next year you'll be. Wait a minute. Oh, we forgot about Ohio State. What? I mean, Ohio State.
They were sleepwalking.
Ohio State lost to in the bowl game. Oh, you have got to be kidding me.
I turned that game on. I went to the Cavs game Friday night with a buddy, and I look up at halftime of the Cavs game, and I see 3-0. It was 3-0. I'm glad that I didn't waste any time watching that football game, because you see some of the highlights. They were sleepwalking. I said it earlier. They're just rolling through like it's another day.
What do you think that is? Why? Why do you think
there's no motivation? Okay, it's the Cotton Bowl. All right, good. We're not playing for anything. Nobody's really watching. There's no title. How many guys transferred out randomly?
Yeah.
You lose your quarterback to go to Nebraska.
Do you see them changing any of this, the way this is set up? Or
I think the NCAA was a double-edged sword. They wanted the ability to get high-level D1 players paid. Yeah. It works. I get it. I understand it. But on the flip side of that, if they're not in the show, in the games that really matter, they don't care, because it's not on social media as much. And I don't know.
Hey guys, listen to this. You guys gonna like this. My son Hanford Jr. is a big Ohio State fan. I mean, huge Ohio State fan. So I ragged him. I was on him. I gave him such a hard time, and I even went as far as to buy him this very, very nice Alabama Road Tide shirt to wear. And
what a roast.
And listen to this. So let's just say this. After Alabama lost, I just went back and dropped my head and said, look.
Truce.
I'm done. JT, good day to be a Browns fan, huh,
big
dog?
That I'll tell you what, Thursday night was electric in there. I mean, you were at the game, Gabby. Did you go to the game Thursday night? I did,
yeah.
The intro, when they knocked off all the lights.
Oh, yeah.
That was
it was
awesome. Special.
I was a little afraid, though, guys. And I wasn't shocked they did it, but when Nick Chubb came out, and I think Nick Chubb was the guy. Did he have the guitar?
Yeah,
right?
he busted the guitar up.
And then I was sitting there saying to myself, I said, "That's all we need is for Nick Chubb to slip or something while he's trying to get everybody fired up, get everybody ready for the game."
Right.
And hurt his knee or something doing that whole thing. I said, oh, no. I mean, because I could see him have him go in the locker room, talk to the team beforehand, get them going, get them fired up, but not do that. I mean, You
were worried, weren't you?
I was worried because obviously this is the second time this guy has had that knee operated on. But this place, you are right, JT. It was electric inside.
That was a lot of fun. I mean, from the time that they announced, when Miles came out, that was special. And then from then on out, it was just a steamroll.
Yeah.
I mean, we came out that first quarter. We scored 20 points in the first quarter?
Yeah. I think that Chubb guitar, I know it made you nervous. I think that once that happened, there was no losing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The energy in there.
The energy.
You knew that we were going to dominate, and we did. We
Yeah.
imposed our will against a very good defense and a very good secondary. Flacco just sliced right through him.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one play that he threw across the middle to Njoku, and I mean, you see the replay up on the big screen, and it was like 2 inches or 1 inch away from the linebacker being able to tip that ball, and Njoku snagged it. And I mean, it was like, damn, this is impressive.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be one of those games,
Well, I'll tell you this. I got to the stadium, and this is part of my little groove. And Gabby's right. Normally we hit this in the beginning, but
yeah, go ahead.
And I didn't get a chance to do it. But I got to the stadium really, really early. I got there probably. Gabby was probably still sleeping before she got there. I got there probably about 5:15, right before 5:15. Got there, got inside, and. I did because I didn't really have to do anything. Because normally at the stadium, I have a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
Pregame shows, visit suites, talk to a lot of people. But we're gonna take a little break, and then I'm gonna jump into what I did right before the game.
Oh, wow. Great teaser,
Put them on
Hanford.
hold so you can't go anywhere.
You can't go anywhere. Stay tuned for the rest of this right after this break. Thank you so much for watching The Hanford Dixon Show. Welcome back to The Hanford Dixon Show. Okay, Hanford, did you want to continue your story about being at Brown Stadium and the absolutely electric energy?
Well, yeah, because like I said, what I did was I got there early, about 5:15, and then obviously I come in underneath, where the press entrance is.
Yes.
I come in through there underground where the players and all down there and watching some of these crazy outfits. I mean, these guys have on. I mean, it's just crazy, some of the stuff they wear, but good. So then I'll come up to the press floor on the 4th floor, I think it is, and then I'll go in there and I'll stop in there and I'll maybe get something to eat a little bit, just to bullshit a little bit. And then I'll go down to the cardiac club, and I go to the cardiac club, and they'll take a chair, and they'll sit a chair for me right by the bar. And I'll go right to the bar, because yesterday, Thursday, I didn't have nothing to do. I didn't have any shows or anything. So they know exactly what I want. So I'll get a Christmas ale. And Great Lakes, I got to give my boys a shout out over at Great Lakes. So I'll have a Christmas ale, and I'll sit there, and I have a security guard right there by me. And but still, I'm like the mayor in there. I a lot of kids come up, I'd shake hands. My beer, they can't see it because I'll put it over the counter, and I'll shake hands. I'll take pictures and all that. And then what I'll do is I'll leave there and I go to Key Bank Lounge, because that's where all my boys are. They're sitting in Key Bank Lounge, and then we sit there. But it was just so much fun being at the stadium on Thursday with everything going on, the way the Browns were playing, and it was just. And you hit the right word when you say electric, JT. It was really, really electric.
It did not stop until that last whistle blew and the game was over. And the celebration, because you knew what it meant. You were locked into the playoffs. Finally, we could enjoy it, unlike 2020, where only a handful of fans were able to really enjoy it, because of everything that was going on in the world at that point. But Thursday night, it was a lot of fun to be able to walk out of there. Everybody is just smiling, chanting, going down the streets of West 3rd. It was fun. It was a lot of fun to see that. Experience it, then you see the video of Njoku jumping in the stands and pounding
chugging the beer, yeah.
Well,
gets us.
That's what I was going to say.
Like a true Clevelander.
Hey, I tell you what, this guy. You can't help but like him.
Oh yeah.
He's a very likable guy. And then have you guys noticed? He what do you call him? He's got these guys now that start to follow him. And when you look up, you know how Njoku is known for coming out, especially at pregame, and he doesn't have a shirt on.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you see there's these guys, 5'10", and it seems like every home game there's been more and more, and they're standing there, and he acknowledged them, and they have their shirts off, and I think it's just so cool.
He's starting his own trend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean, Gab?
I do. I can decode that one for you.
He really is. And I just think it's great. And
are you gonna do it?
No.
But look at the chemistry him and Flacco have out on the field.
Yeah.
Now he's playing with a lot more swagger, a lot more confidence, and those two, they have a unique chemistry. Flacco and Cooper have a good one. Elijah Moore and Cooper and those guys. But Njoku and him, and Flacco, it is a separator in this league to have somebody of his talent, his quality, his caliber to make the plays that he made. That first drive, it was 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15, and there he goes rumbling for 35.
Yeah.
When do you have that?
He's been able to
team?
elevate his game.
Yeah.
And it is fun to watch.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
But JT, tell us about Montreal Auto Group, Big Dawg.
Well, we're now in our 41st year of business. We just kind of celebrated another birthday as the calendar year turned.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we got stores all over the place. We've got Ford stores down in Fairlawn. We've got a Jag Land Rover Volvo store off of Brook Park Road and technically Brooklyn, Ohio, or Parma. Kia store out in Sheffield Lake. And then out in Ashtabula County, we've got a Chrysler Jeep Dodge store and a Chevy GMC store. And then in Hermitage, Pennsylvania, just across the border, we've got a GMC and Nissan store out there.
Gabby, everything that JT drives is for sale.
Everything.
What are you driving today, JT?
I got a Ford F-150.
All right.
I'm a big F-150 fan, so I love them. It's my preference, and I've driven a lot of them.
Yeah.
You know, not taking anything away from Chevrolet or GMC or Toyota for that matter. They're all great.
And you know what? They're nicer than a damn car.
There.
I mean, the way everything they're doing to them today.
The technology that you've gotten in all these trucks, especially, the drivability, the suspension, it really is like driving a luxury car, a luxury SUV. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
JT, real quick, what's the hottest thing that's moving right now?
Oh, the hottest thing moving right now, I would say, is probably either the Kia Telluride or the Kia Sorento. Those two, for the price and the maintenance and the warranty that you get with them. And they did solve a lot of the problems with that, viral TikTok theft and all that stuff. So back in 23, those models, in 24, that's all been solved, and if you have an older 22, 21, they give you the club.
Okay.
So you get that old school from the night. Yeah, you can lock it down. But those are the two that really, really are fantastic vehicles for the most bang for the buck and the quality.
Cool.
They're great. Great.
Thanks so much. And anything else, Hanford?
I'm good.
Cool. Well, thanks for giving us your insights, as always, too. It's always fun to banter with you.
It's great being on.
And we're sorry we made you stay a little longer, but it was Gab's idea because she wanted to beat up on you with that Florida State.
It's because she's having a good hair day today. We know. We've been talking about it.
You guys were really gassing me up today.
No, she pulled it out of her little man bun. Me and Hanford were like, damn,
I know.
it's a great hair day.
He's using my lingo for that. I do like to say I put it in a little man bun because I really do. I like twist it up top. It's my little man bun, and then just you take it out and.
It was like something out of a movie scene, you know, and she like unfurled the hair. It was like that Denise Richards in the Friends episode years ago. If you ever seen that, that's what it's like.
The classic. Well, guys, I really appreciate. I'm sure Hanford, you had that experience this morning.
Well,
too.
Yeah, he did.
I put mine in a man bun too, and then when I flipped it, nothing flipped. So that's the only thing.
All right, we got to get out of here. JT, thanks so much for coming on. We'll see you
you
next time. Stick with us. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We got a lot into college football today, Hanford. And, I know JT had a lot to say about Florida State. He also had a lot to say about Ohio State. I know you were just been laughing about this. Our producer, Michael Bohm, is a graduate, a proud Ohio State alum, and he had some things to say in the break. We literally set up a camera just to have him give us the other side. So we got to bring him on right now.
He's hurting, Gab. He's hurting. His Buckeyes was nowhere in the party. Then, Gab, I mean, before we hear from him, I forgot all about Ohio State loss. I mean, Ohio, but I think, and who did they lose to? Gab, Missouri? Missouri's in the SEC though, right? Ohio State.
Now, the thing is, Michael, you don't think they were necessarily sleepwalking. JT didn't really watch the whole game. What are your thoughts? Give us the other side.
I don't think it's fair to say that Ohio State sleptwalked through that game. For one, the defense looked outstanding until the very end, when it felt like the offense just wasn't giving them enough support, and they finally broke down. But that offensive line for Ohio State was awful. I will admit that. And it felt like Devin Brown gets hurt early on in the game, right? The starter who they had planned all month to go out there and be their starting quarterback. And then instead, to replace him, they have to trot out a true freshman quarterback with very little playing experience, rather. And he was thrown to the wolves, guys. It was a rough outing, but to say they sleptwalked is unfair.
We have problems with that. We had to make sure that was recorded.
Well, I'm talking about it was unfair, but you was playing Missouri. I mean, you talking about a team. They're in the SEC now. We understand the SEC is a top team, but we're talking about Ohio State. I mean, we're talking about the Big Ten. We're talking about what? Oh my God!
You're gonna be an Allen Iverson meme. We're talking about Ohio State. We're talking about.
I just love the expression on his face where he defends his Ohio State Buckeye.
I'll admit they have a lot of questions going into next year. What are they going to do at quarterback? Devin Brown definitely didn't give them enough to like feel optimistic about. He looked rough in those 2 drives that he was out there before getting hurt. And Lincoln Keenholtz, obviously so young, he made a couple of nice throws, really didn't get it done. So it's one of the most concerning off seasons I have as like a Buckeye fan in recent memory.
All right, I'll let you go, Dawg. I won't get on you anymore, but I have to say this, and I think both of you guys will agree. It was just a great week for football. I mean, just a great week for college football and college football and the NFL. It was just great. Go ahead, Gab. I know you want to beat up on me.
Okay, well, real quick, let's talk about, since we are preparing for the Bengals, what's your strategy for the Browns in terms of who do we rest, who do we play?
Boy, that's going to be interesting because, obviously, talked about it earlier. This game doesn't mean anything. I mean, it means absolutely nothing because we have a ticket to the show, and we are the 5th seed, and we're going to remain the 5th seed in the playoffs. And obviously, being the 5th seed, we will play someone in the AFC South, and I think that will start with it's all up to Jacksonville because Jacksonville right now is leading the AFC South, and if they win, we will have to go and play Jacksonville. But if Jacksonville doesn't win, I think it's either the Colts and I want to say Tennessee, but anyway, it's one of those teams that we will have to play in the playoffs. But I would be very, very careful if I was Stefanski with how I play my game. And obviously, I don't have to tell him. He knows this football team a lot better than I do because he's with this team every day. But I think he want to keep them ready to go. So I would play him maybe a quarter or a quarter and a half just to keep them sharp if it was me. But I don't see how he might just take these stands where he's not going to play any of those guys. And because obviously there's always the chance of those guys getting hurt, and you don't want anyone to get hurt. You want everyone to be ready to go and full speed for this AFC play for the playoffs. So I would play him a quarter. I would play him a quarter and a half, Gab, if it was me. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens because all we wanted, and I've said this all along, just give us a ticket to the show. Just give us a ticket to the show because if you get a ticket to the show, I mean, once you get an invitation to the party, anything could happen once you're at the party, and that's what it's going to be very, very interesting throughout this whole thing. But I am so happy, and like I said, it's a good day to be a Browns fan. Mm-hmm. Very good day to be a Browns fan. But can you imagine if we had a playoff game at home?
I know.
I mean, the way this team plays at home.
The way the city comes and rallies for this team at home.
Oh, it would just be crazy because, again, we talked about Thursday night.
Thursday felt like did it not?
It did. The atmosphere. It was like a playoff atmosphere. And to just how everyone after the game just stuck around the whole time and just wouldn't leave the stadium. And then the players just reacting with them, jumping up. Some of them jumping them in the stands,
right?
Taking pictures with a lot of the guys. Yeah. It was just great. And again, JT hit it earlier when he said it was electric. It really was. Mm-hmm. But I'm a little bit upset with you because I know you were at the game Thursday.
I was waiting for you to grill me on this.
Well, yeah. I mean, Bone. I text Gabby and I said, "Where are you?" And she said, "Well, I'm eating now. Just give me a second." And she said, "Where are you?" And I told her I was. Then I was at the Cardiac Club.
Yeah,
And
before
she-
you did all your hopping around.
And then she said, well, I'll be there. I got to eat and whatever. So I said, okay. So I had.
No, I didn't say I'll be there.
So listen to this. So I told the people at the at the door, I said, well, look for Gab, and just, she's gonna ask for me. Just let her in, tell her where I am. Or
oh,
whoever.
really? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the end of the game. And I haven't heard from Gab. I don't know. I mean, I'm like, what the hell?
I can tell you a true story. Go on.
No, I want to hear the story first before I
Okay.
go off.
This is a shout out to a woman named Nancy that I met at the game. So I got tickets. I was supposed to meet my friends up in these seats. Or like everyone was around the same seats. So it wasn't like we were sitting next to each other. But they were different seats than I've had. They weren't the club seats that I spontaneously got the other 2 games. I'm on a streak. I think I'm 4-0 at home now.
Ooh.
But anyway, so I'm headed up to my seats, and I just stand like where I noticed some people standing, and I was like, this is better than my seats. I'm just going to stand here and watch. And this lady, Nancy, was like, Gabriella, she's like, my husband and I love you at the Guards. Come sit with us in our section. And, I'm a woman of the moment. I love the spontaneity. So I'm like, you know what, she's front row right here. I'm going to sit right there.
Okay.
So I just make friends with her and all her section. They're treating me, grabbing me a drink. And she and I just hit it off. I couldn't leave Nancy after that. She's just every play. She was a football mom growing up. Her 2 kids played, so she's just giving me the commentary. She's hilarious, and we just hit it off. And I couldn't leave her at that point. I was like, I'm with Nancy for the rest of this game, or else, we got to keep the good juju going.
Okay, well, I didn't know that. Now I understand. So I won't be as hard on you as I was going to be. So I'll just leave it alone. I'll leave it at that.
I'm flattered. You really thought you had a little plans for me to come. I didn't know.
I mean,
I was just asking where you were, and you said cardiac. I didn't know it was an invitation. I'm big leaguing you, Denzel Ward is big leaguing you. Go ahead.
Oh, let's not even talk about this. So, I was going to have, I'm glad you reminded me. I was going to, I thought it would be great because they have the day off today. And I said, well, Denzel will, we can get him on the show. And, I text Denzel and I said, hey, man, need you to come on the show and we'll chop it up a little bit. Did you get that? Chop it up?
Yeah.
We'll chop it up a little bit. But damn if Denzel haven't texted me back yet.
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
what the hell? I mean, you talk about the top dog here. One corner to another corner, and he leave his boy hanging.
That's brutal.
So I have to give him a hard time, but I still love him.
We'll
He's
try.
all right.
Yeah, we'll try to get this on the internet. Give him a little hard time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we got to wrap up the show. One more break, right, Bohm? Okay, 2 more breaks? Wow. All right, well, we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. I know we've been super chatty today. As usual, Hanford, we're always like running for time and where we can make it up. Shout out to our producer who just makes it a masterpiece by the end every time.
He is the man.
Real quick, though, how was your birthday?
It was good, Gab. I didn't do anything. I just pretty much just stayed home, relaxed. Like I said, watched little football, and
okay.
that was pretty much it. I just laid back. It was probably just like my New Year's. Didn't do a lot during New Year's, and I think there was I won't call her name, but there was another one right beside me here. Probably did the same thing I did for New Year's, and that's just shocker with you.
I'm so bummed. I had a crazy Saturday, okay?
Yeah.
Because I had my first espresso martini.
What?
And then I pulled nitro. And then I pulled an all-nighter involuntarily and into Sunday, which was Christmas Eve, right?
Yeah.
And then I had plans to go to this VIP party, blah, 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 at Town Hall or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I can make it, but I'm delusionally tired from not sleeping. I've spent 2 days now. And I had a 5K to run at 4 p.m. So I had to stay awake, muscled through a brunch with my family, ran the 5K out in Stowe. And
you were whipped. You're done.
I was like, let me just sleep a couple hours and then I'll get ready to go and have a New Year's Eve like a normal person. And I fell asleep through the whole night. Woke up, thought we had work, hustled, did my makeup in the car, got here, nobody's here. I'm like, you know what? 2024, baby. We're on a roll already.
Oh, stick a fork in her. She was done. She was done.
But yeah, so I guess we both snoozed, huh?
Yes, we did.
All right, let's do AFC North because you know who's not snoozing? The Ravens.
Boy, Gab, they are a very dominant football team. I mean, they're playing extremely well, and it all starts with their quarterback, Lamar Jackson. I mean, he is just something else. I think this last game, I mean, you look at them. I mean, first they beat the San Francisco 49ers, and then they have to play Miami Dolphins, who are two really good teams back to back, and they just dismantle the Miami Dolphins. I mean, they really did. I mean, Lamar, I think he had 5 touchdown passes, and I think he had a passing rating of just out of this world, just unbelievable. I mean, this guy, I think he definitely wrapped up the MVP as far as the National Football League. But they're playing good right now. They're playing good offensively. They're playing good defensively, and they're playing really, really good football. And then to jump off of them, I mean, let's talk about these Pittsburgh Steelers. All of a sudden, they have life. Mason Rudolph. I mean, Pickett, I don't know. Right now, I think he's going to be healthy, but I think Pittsburgh is just going to go with Mason Rudolph. He's going to be the guy because he's playing extremely well, and I think he's through for the last 2 games. All of a sudden, their offense is alive. It was dead, but all of a sudden it's alive. I mean, he's through for like 300-yard passing in the last 2 games, and they are scoring points. But those Cincinnati Bengals, who we have to play this week, even if this game meant something, we still would beat them, I think, right now. Even though we got to go to Cincinnati, we got to play them there, we still would beat them. But the AFC North, again, is a strong division. I mean, obviously, Cincinnati lost their quarterback, Joe Burrows. He's done the game. But it's a good day to be a Browns fan. A good day to be a Browns fan. That's all I'm going to say, and I'm smiling. Good day to be a Browns fan.
Let's just end on that. I know we have 1 more minute. Let's tag it on to the end because you know why?
Yeah.
We got to have that high vibe.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, thanks for watching the Hanford Dixon show. Thanks for that little wrap up there. We got 1 more segment for you, so stick with us. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon show. Thanks so much for watching. Hanford, I know that, you know, we've got some nervous energy as the playoffs come to fruition here for us, and I know you burn off some of that energy on the elliptical. You're very regimented. We've mentioned this on the show before, but you're so good at getting in your hour on the elliptical. Tell us how you play those mind games with yourself, though, because this is very interesting.
Well, it's funny because when you're on there for an hour or more than an hour, it could be really, really hard, and if you allow your mind to go to different places telling you you're tired, you're done. So I just play all these little mind games with myself. Obviously, I have my headphones on. I know if I got a good song, there's 4 minutes gone right there. And, I with the time, I just keep changing it all the time, going different places with it. It's just crazy, the little things that I do and with my mind, just to keep me in it. But you know what?
And you have to do it every time.
And then I could tell you exactly when I'm going to start the sweat. I could just, it's just, and I like to
8-minute mark.
Yeah, about 8-10 minute mark.
Ah,
and then I'm
too good.
And then I like to get on like at a different time.
Okay.
And I like to have the minute on the clock that I like to make sure that it's starting. I don't
on
like
a whole number.
On a whole number. I mean,
wow, you got it bad.
I do. I mean, it's crazy, but I just I don't have to tell you.
Honestly, I kind of empathize. It's like a healthy amount of mental illness there.
Yeah.
I decided to try to run every day of December.
Yeah.
And so I've run every single day of December. And actually, I'm going to keep it going through January. But the mind games I had to play to just even get out there. So I can't even imagine you signing up for a whole hour every time.
I don't know how you can run outside, though.
Oh, it's awesome.
I mean, I could see it in the summer, but not
Ooh,
in the.
winter's my favorite.
Oh my!
Summer
God.
could be too hot. Winter is like it's perfect.
No.
I love it. Okay, give us some of your memories from the playoffs, Top Dog, because I mean I know you lost, not to bring up a sore spot, but 3 AFC championships to Denver.
Yeah, we did. It was just absolutely crazy, and but we were pretty much in the playoffs almost every year because toward the end of the season we were always trying to see where we're going to position ourselves or where we're going to be in the playoffs. And we obviously you always want that home field advantage, always playing that playoff game at home. But what you want to do is you want to be in the position that Baltimore is in right now, where you're winning. Back then it was the AFC Central, now it's the AFC North. But you know if you were winning that, you're always playing your playoff games pretty much at home. But we were in that mindset that it was just crazy. I mean, it was just you look at everybody and when you're in the playoffs, you can't take a play off. I mean, you can't take a playoff anyway. But I'm saying you really can't take a play off. I mean, you never know when that play is going to be the play that can cost you and your boys the game, and you don't want to be the one to have that happen. But I could tell you these guys, they're excited. They're ready to go, and they're going to be ready for this big game.
We're excited too, as fans, and I'm excited because I want to be chatting with you again.
Yeah, and
week after week.
And I tell people, I say, they ask me if I miss the game or when do I miss the game. This is when I really and truly miss the game, is during the playoff time.
I bet. Hanford, love you. Happy belated birthday. Thanks for watching the Hanford Dixon Show. We'll see you.